Let's talk about one of the first things you'll notice in MVN 2025, the completely refreshed user interface. Now, this isn't just a new coat of paint. The new UI is designed to help you work faster, see more clearly, and feel more confident in your workflow. Whether you're a first-time user or a seasoned pro, we've streamlined the interface so you can get to the tools quicker with fewer clicks. That means smoother workflow, less time fumbling around, especially helpful when you're in a live or time-sensitive environment. So the first feature we're going to look at is light and dark mode. Yes, light and dark mode is finally here. Whether you're working in a bright studio or a dark edit bay, your eyes are going to thank you for this one. It also makes MVN feel more personal and comfortable to use over long sessions. So let's jump in to show you how to access this feature. So inside of MVN, we're going to navigate over to Options up at the top, and we're going to go to Preferences. Under Preferences, you're going to have some options: Recordings, 3D View, User Interface, and Experimental. We are going to navigate to User Interface. Here, you're going to have options for your display settings, motion capture settings, and your permissions. We're specifically looking at UI theme style, which is right here at the top under Display Settings. You're going to have the option for dark or light. And really, just to access this or to change it, you just need to highlight which one you want to use and set that. And then down at the bottom, you're going to hit Apply. As soon as you hit Apply, everything changes to the UI theme that you would like it to be at. Now, I personally like dark mode, so I'm going to switch mine back, hit Apply, and then we're set there. Since we're here, let's talk about the next update, which is the background color changing. With MVN 2025, you can now switch between different background colors to match your lighting environment, personal preference, or just your mood of the day. Whether you're in a dark mocap volume or a bright office, this small touch helps with visibility, focus, and just overall comfort. Now, this is a feature that we had in previous versions, but in order to do it, it was a bit of a long process. And with this new feature, we've shortened it and made it much easier for users to be able to access this. So once again, this feature is going to be under the Preference tab, which you can get to from Options and Preferences. So this option is going to be under the 3D view, and we're looking for 3D viewport color. And then you just want to go ahead and click the actual color icon, which brings up the Select Color tab. And here you can change the background color to whatever you would like. Now, something to note is if you have a recorded file, you can make the change to the background, hit OK. You're going to have to close the file and then reopen it to see the change to the background. But in a live preview, when you change the background color, it will happen instantaneously. So, for instance, I'm using a recorded file right now. So if I wanted to switch to a green background, I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. I'll hit OK here. Again, I'll need to close the file out, navigate back to File, Open, and then find my motion capture file. And once I open it, as you can see, the background now is changed to the green color that I selected under the background change. And as I stated earlier, if we start a live session by clicking the live session button, we're going to bypass setting up anything in the configuration, but we're basically in a live session right here. And if I go to Options and Preferences, go to 3D View, and then when I click on the color, if I click the color and hit OK, the change is instantaneous. So you don't have to close and reopen anything. With the live feed, it just changes automatically right away, just like that. All right, let's talk about one of the biggest updates in MVN 2025, which is the brand new biomechanical model. This is a major leap forward in how we represent and track the human body. It's built from the ground up for more accuracy, realism, and flexibility. For the first time ever, MVN now supports selectable body profiles: male, female, and the classic legacy model. These profiles are built on an updated anthropometric data and provide a more anatomically accurate base, which means better scaling, more realistic motion, and improved performance across a wide range of body types. So let's get into the details. So we've added a greater range of motion, especially in the spine flexion and extension. And most importantly, we've introduced a physiological lumbopelvic rhythm. This means we now simulate the natural S to C curve dynamics of the spine as the body moves, giving you much more realistic posture and motion, especially in expressive upper body performances. Thanks to the improved anatomical representation, the model also boosts kinematic accuracy across both upper and lower body. So everything from the shoulder rolls to foot placement feel just a bit more human. And when you're working in animation or biomechanics or even in virtual production, the realism really matters. The new biomechanical model delivers better performance with less cleanup and lays a foundation for an even smarter, more adaptive mocap going forward. So whether you're capturing nuanced character motion, analyzing athletic performance, or pushing boundaries in XR, this new model gives you a more natural, flexible, and future-ready mocap foundation. So very quickly, I'm going to show you where you can access and switch these models. So if we open up a capture configuration window, under biomechanical model right here, you can select legacy, you can select the new male biomechanical model or the new female. You can select it here, or under options, preferences, and under user interface, you can select what biomechanical model will be used when opening your software. And again, it'll be legacy, female, or male. MVN 2025 now integrates with the HTC Vive Mars camera tracking system. If you're working in virtual production or live XR environments, this is a huge deal. With the integration, you can now use camera tracking data from the Vive Mars to lock your motion capture to the real-world camera's position and movement, bringing virtual performance into perfect sync with the physical camera movement. Your talent can move freely, your physical camera can move freely, and MVN stays perfectly in sync. That's precise, real-time position tracking for both performers and props, which is critical when you're working on green screen stages, virtual sets, or LED volumes. So if you'd like more details about the HTC Vive, we're going to be going live this July to walk you through how to integrate the HTC Vive with the Xsens motion capture system. If you're working in VR, virtual production, or immersive experiences, this is a setup you'll want to see in action. We'll cover how to get everything connected, what kind of tracking improvements you can expect, and answer some of your questions live. But if you want to dive into this earlier, you can head over to our knowledge base at movella.com under the Learn and Support tab. Okay, let's talk about the last major update for MVN 2025, which is called Auto Sensor Mapping. With Auto Sensor Mapping, MVN software can now automatically figure out where each sensor is on the body without needing a predefined placement. So instead of carefully attaching each sensor in the exact right spot, you can just suit up and MVN does the mapping for you. This is great for quick setups, remote shoots, or when you need to move fast. It can help reduce prep time and lower the pressure on sensor placement accuracy. Now, it's very important to note that this is only possible with a full body Awinda setup. Now, in order to set this up, you need to navigate over to Options, Preferences, and then under Experimental, you'll see Enable ASM. Now, once you click this and hit Apply, MVN will need to restart, but once it does restart, if we open up the configuration window, you will see in red, ASM is enabled. Once ASM is set up, you can then perform your calibration with a few extra steps. Go ahead and hit the calibration button to begin your calibration process. First, go ahead and get in an N pose or a T pose. We recommend an N pose. You're going to hold this for about 3 to 4 seconds. Then you're going to perform the movement portion of the calibration. We recommend walking in figure eights for this. Once this is done, you're going to raise your right hand, then you're going to raise your left hand, you're going to raise your right leg, and then you're going to raise your left leg. Once this is done, you're going to perform one last N pose for roughly 3 to 4 seconds, and MVN will then use those extra movements to assign the sensors to the body.